the word scam.
Yeah, yeah.
So it just makes me wonder, like, if you're really honest with me, and just being genuine, I mean, you might not know the specific figure, but how much money have you spent on, let's say, scams, signals, bots, coaching, like all of those sort
It'll
of
be in excess of
schemes?
16 grand, I reckon.
Jesus, is Lord, that is crazy. 16 grand. And this is all before Freedom Finders or
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
in the
No, all
midst of,
before. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
got
yeah,
it. Okay.
yeah.
So what were these schemes? Were they like specific? You mentioned to me a bot. There was like a trading
Yeah,
EA
yeah.
system you had before.
Yeah, I was scammed. It was a group that were on Telegram and they were obviously posting all of their stuff and I was relatively naive to it all. And I think, I was sadly I'm just naturally trusting. I'm just a naturally trusting person.
Some time, but just wanted to take this time out and first of all just say congratulations on your journey now becoming a funded trader.
Thank you.
So obviously, how long has it been since you came to Freedom Finders?
So I only started, well, I joined you in October last year. So what's that? 4 months ago?
4 months. Okay,
But I
four
didn't
months.
do anything with it because I had some sweep up stuff and other things I needed to sort out. So I didn't do anything with it until early December.
Right. Okay. And okay, so when did you actually start using it?
So it would have been realistically, probably, yeah, it would have been very early December. Very
Got
early
it.
December. I can probably tell you
Yeah.
exactly. So the first trade I took on it was the 4th of December.
Wow. Okay, so 4th of December to
But we,
today.
yeah, but we stopped for Christmas, so that was a
Ah.
2 week break in the middle. We stopped for Christmas completely, so that
Mhm.
didn't count. That didn't obviously count at all.
Right. Okay. So like 4th of December, we stopped for Christmas, and we're
Yeah,
now 29 days into the year 2026.
yeah,
So it, realistically, in terms of days, it's been about what, roughly around 30 days, would you say?
yeah. Not honestly, genuinely, not even. So like the first part of the challenge was 11 days, 11 trading days, and the second part of the challenge was 14 trading days.
Wow, wow, wow. Impressive. Really
But
impressive.
yeah,
So
24.
where are you now in terms of like funding? Like maybe just briefly touch on like where you're at now in terms of funding, account size, prop firm you chose, and that sort of
Okay, so my account size was 100K.
right.
That's the one that's just been passed with FTMO.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
that's the one that's just been passed.
Got it. Okay. Amazing. So I guess before we get into that trading stuff, a lot of the time it's good to just get a background.
Yeah.
I know we've spoken at length on your journey, but I guess right now, like, what does a typical day look like for you as a trader? Like, just walk me through
Well,
the situation.
so for me at the minute, I don't do any trading until the afternoon. So my morning is all my normal stuff, working and things, and then my trading starts in the afternoon. So usually around about 2 o'clock, I would say, and then I'm usually keeping an eye on things until around about 5.
Hmm. Okay, okay. And is that just for the context? What gives you that time constraint? Is it like mainly work in the morning then, or
So I do school runs. I work obviously as well. So that takes my priority during the beginning part of the day, and then I can usually have some time out in the afternoon. So I can't really trade in the morning, but I'm a lot freer in the afternoon.
I see, I see. Okay, so obviously when we first started speaking about this, what was going on in your life that made you think, okay, I need to still give trading a go? Because I know you had traded before, right?
Yeah. No, I have been probably for about 2 years. But honestly, I never really got a grasp because I do have so many other things. Obviously, I'm a wife, a mother, and run the house and everything. And I really have so many other things going on to try and find something that's stickable, workable, and that I understood and could execute without any kind of like guidance or signals or anything like that. I'm completely solely responsible for doing it myself.
Mm,
Has taken me a long, long time, and it's been a very, very difficult journey with kind of
mm,
like scams and lost accounts and losing money left, right, and center and things
mm,
like that. But I think what's always been there is just the persistent and ongoing belief that in the end, the only reason that you're never going to make it is if you give up. And that was
mm.
ultimately something I never was prepared to do. I always commit to something if I set my mind to it. So, yeah, I got in touch, we connected
Wow,
and we went from there.
brilliant. I think it's really important that you shared that because, you know, it hasn't been easy. You
No,
kind of
no.
touched on, you said the word scam.
Yeah, yeah.
So it just makes me wonder, like, if you're really honest with me, and just being genuine, I mean, you might not know the specific figure, but how much money have you spent on, let's say, scams, signals, bots, coaching, like all of those sort
It'll
of
be in
like
excess of
schemes?
16 grand, I reckon.
Jesus, is Lord, that is crazy. 16 grand. And this is all before Freedom Finders or
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
in
No,
the
all
midst of,
before. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
got
yeah,
it. Okay.
yeah.
So what were these schemes? Were they like specific? You mentioned to me a bot. There was like a trading
Yeah,
EA
yeah.
system you had before.
Yeah, I was scammed. It was a group that were on Telegram and they were obviously posting all of their stuff and I was relatively naive to it all. And I think, I was sadly I'm just naturally trusting. I'm just a naturally trusting person. And I just trusted that it was okay. And I reached out to some of the other people in the group, and they all said, yeah, no, this is really genuine. Like all the fees and stuff that they're asking for, they're all part of the process, blah, 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 blah. And you
Mm,
keep going and going and going, and then you just get sucked into this thing that you just think, gosh, I've committed so much more. It's only another bill that I've got to pay, and then it will be fine. And then, of course, you pay the bill, and then you need more. And yeah, and it was just, there was just a something that just snapped in me and just went, well, this is just nuts. But
mm,
I mean, it is what it is. It
mm,
took me
mm,
a while. I had to really pick myself up from that.
mm, mm. Wow. So like besides the bot, I mean that's quite sad, and these are things that are not uncommon in this industry. There
No,
are a lot of these scammers out there that
yeah,
push this whole like trade and you haven't got to do the work, we're going to do it for you sort of narrative.
yeah,
So
yeah,
was there
yeah.
any like attempts from your side to actually learn how to trade, or was is Freedom Finders your first time actually being responsible for trading?
Yeah, no, the Freedom Find was definitely the first time I was responsible for trading because any other time I've ever tried it, it's not been, it's very subjective and it's kind of, you're kind of left to think about whether it is a good execution or it's not. And, I think it's really hard if you don't genuinely know and when you're always trying to predict things,
Mm,
and
mm,
as we know, you can't predict what's going to happen. You can just have your execution points and you make your
mm,
trades, you execute them according to the rules and that's
mm,
it. And that's what's made working with Freedom Finders so good, really,
mm,
for me to be able to work in because I work really well with a set of rules and
mm,
I just don't deviate from those rules.
mm, mm. So you were pretty much a beginner then, like you didn't have a strategy, you had
No.
relied on a bot, an EA sort of software,
Yeah,
but
I mean, I knew how to trade, but the
mm,
concept of learning a strategy, I didn't have anything. So I was reliant on signals given to me, and they never really always worked out, or you're slightly late getting the signals, slightly late making your entry. Yeah, you
got
know.
it. Okay. Yeah, this is the typical story. I've spoken about this myself, having done similar things before I came across the strategies I've now. I used to teach the students at Freedom Finders, but when you would obviously go back to that first conversation we had, maybe when we first started connecting and talking about the prospect of actually learning these mechanical strategies, you said something quite cool. I want to just maybe touch on. Like, you said that you're naturally a trusting person,
Yeah,
but that hurt you in the past. So
yeah,
that cost you to lose about what,
yeah.
16 or so grand. So what made you think, okay, Josh might be able to help?
Well, face to face, definitely. The fact that we had a conversation on the phone, the fact that you are dealing with me one on one, you're not hiding behind a Telegram account, you're not wearing a mask.
Hopefully I'm not.
Yes, just really that. And it can when you do stuff like this, I hear your voice, I hear the intonation in your voice, and yeah, I am naturally a trusting person, and I do still believe in humanity, and I still believe in human kindness, and I still think that there are more good in the world than there is bad, and that's probably a big part of the reason why I thought I'd just give it a go.
And I guess it's paid off at this point.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, well done. I mean, you're definitely a testament of the fact that, sometimes if you don't give up and if you do believe that there's a way, I think they say where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
So like before we start talking, there was a lot of different things that maybe could have prevented you, especially losing a large amount of money. But I guess now, like when you look at where you are now,
Yeah.
how do you actually feel? Like, how do you describe yourself now? I mean, now you have a funded account, you have the strategy, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
How would you describe your present
Well,
situation?
I'm not acting blindly anymore. And I think that's the thing is, I trust what I'm doing. I trust what I've got. I trust that it will work. And I don't act blindly. So I have faith in it working. I've got plans for where I want it to go, where I want it to
Mm,
end up. And I believe wholeheartedly that I'll get there now.
mm.
And I think
Yeah.
always before it was a bit of a pipe dream, but it's not anymore. It's just kind of like it's got no choice but to happen that way.
Mm. And when I think you hopped on Magneto,
Yeah.
and then now you're obviously more leaning on Captain America in the
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah, that's
But
correct. Because I can't do Magneto because it's the morning. So I just can't for the minute I can't do it. So I'm only focused on the afternoon trading
got it.
strategy. Yeah.
I guess when you first learned the rules, I mean, obviously quite mechanical, extremely mechanical. So when you first found out the rules,
Yeah.
what was it like? What was your honest reaction? Maybe too simple, too good to be true. Like what did you think?
Um, that I made it too complicated before, I think. It's not it's not that it's too simple because yes it is. Of course it is easy to master. But before I was just making it far too unnecessarily complicated and I was causing myself way too much stress and bother and anxiety. It just didn't need to be that way. And I understand now. You preset your loss and you take your loss or you take your win.
Mm,
And that's it.
mm, mm. And you say it like it's simple, and obviously I know it is really simple,
Yeah.
but it's not like that for everyone because you're one of the students. You're probably the first student this year so far that's actually got funded. We've got a few other students that are funded. We have a
Close.
relatively small group, and yeah, a lot of people are very close. But there's something about you that I guess maybe is a bit different. Like what clicked for you, or what would you say is that thing that I guess has kept you to a point where you're now actually no longer just following the rules, but that's like if you had to boil it down to one thing, I guess what would it be that would you say is like in the because yeah, it's simple. You see the rules, you press the button, you take a profit or you collect your expenses.
Yeah.
Either way, you're going to be fine. But
Yeah.
what allows you to do that? that? Because not
Yeah.
everyone can just do that. Some people deviate from that.
Yeah, so I think, in all honesty, probably around about November time, early November, so before I even started trading on Captain America, um, early November, I started doing some like meditation work because I had some other bits and bobs in my life that were really a bit higgledy-piggledy, and I do think that how your mindset is before you do something is now so key. And so I worked on some mindsets, work strategies, and things for myself personally before I even looked at Captain America. And then obviously I researched it and I did some paper trading, some copy tradings
Mm,
before I even started Captain America for a couple of weeks. And I
mm,
was actually just blown away by how simple it was to do, how successful it was, and I just thought that it really is going to be fine. And of course, then it's work in progress because you tap into old memories, you work off of how your brain used to think in the past and stuff like that.
mm,
But as I've been going through, my meditation and my mindset work, as I've been going through all of that, that's kind of like grounded me and rounded me in a lot more. And I
mm,
now no longer look back on stuff. So even if I now look back on the scams and stuff and losing that money, that person isn't me anymore.
mm,
Like now moving forward, I've removed myself from all of those notifications. I've wiped out all of the extra noise. I don't have anything bothering me that isn't important to me in my life anymore.
mm.
So I think
Uh,
that's what's
yeah,
ultimately changed.
right. No, that is really honestly sort of like bin the noise. You sort of just like maybe put it aside, put it
Totally.
behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Totally.
is
But I think
that is.
I had to do that work myself before I worked with trading.
Mm,
I couldn't have done it alongside trading because I think you would just be pulling yourself backwards all the time. So I did the work before I started doing the trading. So even
mm,
though it was still work in progress, doing those paper trades whilst it was work in
mm,
progress really, really helped my confidence. And I
yeah,
think it is really, really, the confidence is so important.
yeah, yeah. This is the biggest thing that stops a lot of people from succeeding. Is like they just don't believe or they don't have that confidence. So maybe they come in and they think it's not going to work, or they already tell themselves, I already know how to trade."
Yeah.
Whereas that paper trading piece, I guess what you're saying is, well, I guess you can sort of explain like what did that actually do for you personally in terms of building your confidence? Was it just proving that the edge works, or was it more so proving that you could follow the edge?
Both,
Okay.
both. Truthfully, it was both. I needed to know that I could execute it and do it myself. I needed to understand the systems because I know you and I had a lot of conversations. It took me a while to really understand how to get one system working with the other and work them in parallel with each other. Um, that but that was just me. Once I got it sorted, it's there and it's fixed and it's not going anywhere. It just, I just need a bit of reassurance to make sure what my entry points and all that kind of stuff was accurate. Once I've got
Mm,
it, it's absolutely fine. So yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure,
yeah,
doing the paper trading really helped
yeah. And
ensure
how did you?
that I was positive moving forward. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna say like because we incorporate that as a part of our process. So not just the paper trading, but obviously the mindset work we do. We do quite a bit of stuff in the group outside of just here's the rules.
Yeah.
How would you personally describe this experience working on myself, the group, learning the mechanical rules? Like, what's
Oh,
it been like for
it's
you?
been really lovely. I mean, it's been so nice to be part of a community, and you're absolutely right. It's not massive, and we've got a little WhatsApp group that we've got going on, and it's great because kind of like we all chitter chatter around in that and around the t trading times. People post their successes and their not so successes, and we all root for each other. We're all really, really pleased. And when I put my funded certificate in the chat, I mean, everybody was just so. It was lovely. It was really, really
Mm,
lovely. So I was,
mm,
really. it's a great community to be with. Yeah, so it's been a lovely experience.
Well, likewise, I think it's been lovely to work with you. Of course, I think it's only as good as the people that are in the group, and there's something special about the people in our group.
Yeah,
I am very picky about who I obviously reach out to and who I obviously select to be a part of the program because they say you are the sum of the people that you spend the most time with. So if I'm
yeah,
going to be
correct.
hopping on calls with you, speaking to people like yourself and the others, I also want to make sure that I can, you know, rob energy with people that are like, positive, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so it's good. And obviously now you are funded. So
Hmm.
once again, huge congratulations. I am so proud. Not only because you did it in record time, but because you've actually done it. Like we said last week, and we had our last call. You told me, Josh, I have to do this. I know I can do it, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah, I know you can do it because
yeah,
I could hear it in your voice. So
yeah,
now
yeah.
you've done it. What does this mean for your life? Like, how does this change the trajectory of your life going forward? Now you're 100K funded with FTMO.
Yeah. Well, it just really proves that the strategy works. So it confirms that my scaling plans are equally as possible and will happen in exactly the same way. So I know it might sound really flippant, but it's just one of the many funded accounts that I want to get under my belt.
Mm,
I'm not running for the hills, jumping for joy because I've got so much more work to do.
mm,
I'm really chuffed. Don't get me
mm.
wrong. I'm super
Yeah.
duper chuffed because it's a massive thing. And, with FTMO, they're probably industry known for being certainly most long-standing and,
Mm,
most reputable prop firms in the market. So to have an account with them I'm so thrilled, but it is
mm.
just one of many.
One of many. Yeah, absolutely. That's the plan. That's what we always discuss is build freedom. So, like looking at your, I guess your reasoning, um, what's the why? And this is probably one of my last questions for you because everyone has a why.
Yeah,
Why even? Because like you said, you're chuffed, but you're not satisfied.
yeah.
So what's the why behind all of this? Why did you even embark on this journey to freedom? Or I guess another way of saying, what is freedom for you, like in your
Okay.
in your mind?
So my big why is my husband is a builder. And he's been in the building industry for a long time, and he's getting very tired, and he doesn't want to have to work all the time, but we need the income for him to be able to do that. And he's self-employed, so obviously if he doesn't work, he doesn't get paid. So any holidays that we take have to kind of like come off of wages that he would earn. And it's been a long old slog to get to where we are. So moving forward, I don't want the rest of our years to kind of like be as tough or get tougher and have that constant, consistent pressure financially. So my real main driver is for him to be able to work if he wants to work and for no other reason, and to bring in income for both of us so that if he can stop, then I can stop and we can enjoy doing stuff that we want to do together.
Mm,
That's my
mm,
why.
mm. That's really compelling, and it means like obviously there's a long way to go. We
Hmm.
never become satisfied with like the small wins, but we're always grateful for the small wins. So
Correct.
I'm happy for you. I know this is going to be a brilliant trajectory going forward, and I don't know if you have anything that you would say to like maybe someone who maybe might be watching this interview or maybe who's spent lost 16, 20, 30 grand already. They want to give up on trading. Maybe they hear from me and they're like, oh, it's just one of these scammers,
Yeah.
one of these guys.
Yeah.
What would you kind of say to them or to someone like them?
I think it's probably what what I've already alluded to. To be fair, Josh, is like you put the effort in to speak and select people that you're comfortable working with. And if you're comfortable working with the individual that you're speaking to, then they should be comfortable to work with you, because I can only honestly say it will work. The only person that gets in the way is you making the decision. You can not do it, or you can do it and trust, and it will be fine.